Welcome back to Best Friends Forever. I'm Rhadia. If you saw our last episode, you're meeting my two besties, and it was tons of laughs. So now we're going to change gears, and I want to talk about the difficult moments, because I think having good friends is how you get through the difficult moments. And in the last interview, you talked about the 6-month period after your 50th, and you were on a high of just, being in the DR, which is your happy place.
Yes.
And then tell us what happened.
So that was in August. We were in DR 2024, April 10th of 2025. I left the gym in the middle of having a stroke. And my life would be changed forever from that moment. But I mentioned that knowing that my girls would drop everything to be by my side during one of the most difficult times in my life, when I was able to, wake up and be cognizant of what was going on around me, the first thing that my family told me was that both of you all were on your way to be by my side. And that has meant the world to me. And you guys have been supporting me through this whole process of still continuing to heal ever since.
Yeah, I remember when Tan called and she had said you were in the hospital. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Not really processing that it was serious, And then I remember she called back and said that you had had a stroke. And it was just like, okay, what do we have to do? And Tan was, the person who was communicating, with your mom and your daughter. And we had our plan of she said, I'm going to go when she gets out of the hospital. And then I said, okay, I'll take the week after, Talk to me, how did this friendship get you through that moment? Because you didn't really know what your future was going to look like after.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when I woke up in the hospital, I had lost vision. And I've written about this in a couple of different forums where I had to learn how to move through my house again. I had to learn how to go up and down stairs and I haven't driven for real in almost a year now because I'm still, like I said, healing. But when I was kind of internally raging because I looked calm on the outside in most cases, but I was raging on the inside because I didn't know how I allowed myself to be in that situation to begin with. And just going through learning how to give myself grace because I did what I thought was best for me. And it was too much. And so y'all's encouragement through that process and just, kind of keeping the laughs coming and just telling me constantly that I was going to get through this is really some of the things that helped me get through it, really. And the memories of my 50th birthday were some of the memories that I was holding on to while I was in the hospital, because in some spaces in that time, I was just in despair. And I'm so glad that even out of the fear of spending that kind of money on my 50th birthday, I'm so glad that I did that, because those memories really allowed me to continually visit my happy place internally as I was trying to figure out what my future was going to look like.
Yeah. And Tam, what was going through your mind to just hear of your best friend having a stroke?
Honestly, it is different, I think, than what most people would think. It's one of the things that gets us through the dynamic of this friendship is the amount of faith that we have. And so when I got the call, honestly, I was more concerned about the children. I had concern for her, but God had already shown the discernment that I had. The calm, there was a calmness in my spirit, and there is just from years of knowing how God speaks to me.
Mhm.
I knew that she was going to be fine. It was the children because she was with both of her children when this happened, and they had to show up in a different way. So it was figuring out how to get, and really Aaron, really getting Aaron, how to get her together. That was my primary focus. When it came to Tamika, it was, God, what are you going to give me to give her in this moment? Because I knew the internal battle that she would have with herself. And like she said, uh, thinking through how could she allow herself to be in this space, I knew that she would be in that place. So it was, my prayer was to show me how to walk with her through that, because I understood what that was going to be. And sometimes that would have to be being really engaged, and sometimes that would have to be just giving her a space to release. And then sometimes it would just be letting her be silent and not trying to come in and do anything, but also paying enough attention to know then when she was on the other side of it, and now we needed to kind of get into the tough love kind of space. And not that it's anything harsh, but it is, now I have to speak to you what God is going to bring to you and how he's getting you over, and have her maybe not feel it, not agree with it. There's an exchange that Tamika and I have, that we do that God gives us what we need to give to the other. And I needed to know when there was the right time to do that, and how to stay in it and not give up, not let up, and not let her give up. And then I knew you really do the hard parts. Um, you did more of the heavy lifting in this, because you do really good about coming in. Your thing is, and maybe it's I don't know what, I don't
It's
know
the bully.
how it turns. It's not the bully. I think it's even you kind of protecting yourself in the space. But one thing that you're going to do is you're going to come in, and there's going to be order. And I know we were having some challenges getting people on the phone, getting these follow-up appointments, and you went in just like a mama. And I think you stepped in, and even her mom talks about this, how she needed you to be that because she couldn't. As tough as she is, this is her baby. And even with the kids, nobody could get it together. So that was easy for me, because I knew you were going to come in and do that thing, and then just tell the rest of us what we need to do and how to follow up. And I just needed to feed the spirit in a different way. You needed to bring the order, and I needed to feed the spirit in a different way. And then we gave each other what we needed while she was going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tamika, so give everyone an update where you are, because you're almost at a year.
I am. I am still healing. My therapist said, and I don't even curse really anymore, but I'm gonna say what she said. She's like, "You kick that stroke's ass." And so I had to learn how to talk. I did a lot of work behind a closed door. So a lot of reading out loud, to be able to enunciate my words. Sometimes I still get a little bit tripped over, certain syllables that kind of back up to each other, but there's still more work to be done. But I started my business, and in doing that and kind of moving through that space, it has shown me that I am probably about 95% back to my normal. And that's that is a blessing, really and truly, because I didn't know what I was going to be able to do and what I wasn't going to be able to ever do again. And coming out of the hospital, I didn't think that I would ever be able to think at the level that I had for all of my life. You know, I prided myself on being intelligent and a high achiever and all of the things. Many of those things is what caused me to be in the situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what my future was going to hold. And so sitting here today, and even when you asked me to be here, I was like, no, I'm not ready.
But you ready, girl.
So I'm just excited for what's to come beyond now, here and now. So yeah, I'm
And
good.
you actually have a book that you wrote.
The book is called Unhealthy Currency, and it's my story without it being my story. And hopefully that book will help other leaders. It's not specific to any gender, but I think female leaders or women leaders will really resonate with the story or the book. But it really is about taking time to assess what your today is costing you. And so many times we just kind of barrel through the day and don't take time to do a self check-in. You know, what is this costing me? My time, my energy, my attention, my emotional capacity. What is it costing me until it's depleted, or in some cases, depletion happens and then we find ourselves in a health crisis.
Yeah. Where it costs you your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tam, what about you? What's a time where you feel like we really stepped in and you were like, oh, thank God I have my girls?
I think there's two separate. There's nothing that connects the two of you. I think for me, when it comes to Tamika specifically, is when my nephew passed away. I think just that moment, she understood where I was. She understood what I needed. When a lot of people, even people who love me, didn't really understand the space that I was in and really didn't allow me the time that I needed to walk through grief in the way that I was walking through grief. And so Tamika did a lot of listening. I don't even want to say without judgment, because there's no judgment with grief, but she understood where I was at each space. She knew when to feed, positivity and life into me. And she knew when to just listen and just to take it. And she allowed me that space. And I think she understood the hurt for me. And so that's probably a big one for me. And then with you, Christmas of 2025. Just another loss. You and I are friends. We're cousins. We're family. And we just had a huge loss that Christmas. And it was a hard one. It was a really hard one for me, for our family. But just doing the thing that you do, showing up. Both of us are very similar in our immediate families, that we typically take on a lot. We have to run. We have to do a lot. In this particular scenario, I had to come in and help other cousins in a way. And I think you just made space for me to feel what I needed to feel, and the weight of that. You gave me that. And so I appreciate that. And just, I think you guys I am not the person that when something happens that I'm going to take it out. And that's not even a privacy thing. My faith is very important to me. God giving me direction and showing me how to move through things. I don't look for people to bring peace and to bring calm. I look for God to bring peace and to bring calm to my life. And what he does is I think he's blessed me with a good support system, and definitely with you two to give me the things that I need in the moment when I'm going through them. And you don't need me to say a lot. You don't need me to say a lot to know what I need. And so for me, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remembered when I got the call on Christmas, and immediately my thought went to you, because I knew that was just going to be a huge loss for you. And, you know, I sent the word out to our friends, and, I just knew that, okay, got to be there. And I knew there were going to be some things that, you were going to need to do. But yeah, you were immediately the first person I thought of, because I knew just, just what how big the loss was going to be.
Yeah.
I know for me, I took care of Honey for 4 years. Honey is my grandmother. And God, I paid too much for this makeup.
I know, and you still look good, girl.
You do, girl.
You look amazing.
When she died, and of course, I'm the planner, and I didn't have to think about it. You did the programs for Honey's funeral, and even to this day, everybody was like, I've never seen a funeral program like that. And you never will. You went into planning. You had to go get my nephew from Houston and bring him to Illinois. And it's just, I don't have to worry with you all. Like, no matter what it is, it's like, you're there. I don't have to ask. I don't have to question if you're going to show up. And life is just so hard, where it's like you all are like one less thing I have to think about, because it's like you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And then when, my brother passed away, again, it was just having to plan the funeral, having, all of those things. And it's just, I don't have to do this alone, and you guys are just always going to be there for, the difficult moments, because even though when you have like your highs, that the lows are right around the corner, and life is always going to life. And like I said, I don't have to worry. I did not have to worry when those things happen, because, planning a funeral, there's so many different things and people, and everyone has an opinion, and it's just, I know y'all can shut people down when you need to, So I'm really thankful that you two have been there during those times, because I don't think I could have gotten through caring for my grandmother. I remember you moved away as my grandmother was moving in with me. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, you said, oh my gosh, I feel so guilty for having to move. And you were moving away, I believe, to get your master's degree. I think so. Was it your master's? For work. And you said, I would help you. And I knew, like, she meant it, and then you would drive from, wait, what city were you in?
Fayetteville.
To Kennesaw. Now that is a hike.
It is.
And you would make that drive, and we did it at a time where, like, our money was funny at the time, so it was like paying gas, and you just always just went back and forth, because I couldn't leave Honey. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you all showing up for the dark, dark days, because you all definitely made those dark days a little bit brighter.
Absolutely. You are too.
And I think that's the thing that you want even the kids to see and to know. That really is what that's really what friendship is. That's what sisterhood is. That's what brotherhood is. It's showing up in the dark days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to switch gears and talk about superpowers. So what would our superpowers be?
So I would say that your superpower is gathering people individually or in a group format.
Either in a good way or a bad way.
Gather in a very good way. In your 20s, it may not have felt that way to the receiving, to the recipient, because it was a little harsh, but it is always for the betterment of that person or that individual. That message is just tough, but it's a good one. I think Tamika's superpower is really, I think, making $1 out of 15 cents. Like Tamika can turn everything about Tamika from the time I've met Tamika until now is facing something and then facing something crazy and turning it into something beautiful. Like Tamika is the one person I know you can knock her down, but she ain't down long. 3 days. Even Jesus rose on the third day. She got about 3 days, but she's going to come back and she is going to make the lemonade from the lemons. She is always going to turn it into something bigger and something better.
Tamika?
I will start with you. Your superpower in my life has been learning or showing me how to celebrate myself. Celebrate in the sense of treating myself to things like vacationing on another level, but things that building memories, I think is something that you are really keen on. Even things as small as when I come to your house, you make sure that my stay is amazing. Like, I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat or any of the things, little things, but they add up to these big, beautiful moments. And so I would say that's your superpower.
Thank you.
And saying your superpower, I think for me, I just have this memory come to mind.
Share.
It tickled me because it was funny. But
go ahead and share it.
The first time I kind of was at death's door and Tan was a fervent prayer. And so she had a picture of me and she would pray that God would restore me because the issue was a skin condition. And so I was like, I just don't want to be in pain anymore. I don't care if I look like I used to. But at one point, it all turned around and she said, girl, I wasn't praying that she was going to get brand new skin. What in the world? Like, what is happening here?
Because Tamika got new skin and she was looking like 10 years younger. And I remember saying, hold on, let me pray this prayer for me. I can't remember where we were, but I was like, you got newborn skin. Like, this is baby skin, girl.
And it was. It was the weirdest thing, but I was grateful for it because, thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Ooh, say that.
Amen.
Say that.
So I would say your superpower is prayer. You are a fervent prayer and you pray without ceasing for anybody, and so I love that about you.
Well, for me, Tamika, I'm going to start with you. I would say your strength. I've seen you go through some lows, and I know what's on the other side when you're coming out of a tough season, and I know you're in a tough season right now. What's on the other side is going to be amazing, you know? So it's just your strength to just highs and lows and keep coming. But it's like, baby was waiting. It's going to be good. We going back to the DR.
Yes, we are.
Wait, and somebody owes us a trip to the DR. One of your brothers. That's all I'm saying.
I think
Right.
you should put that on record. Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of
It's
your
on record.
brothers said on
Absolutely.
him, we're all going back.
Coming.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So yeah, so you were just, like I said, it's the highs and lows, and just watching you, you know, go through different health challenges, and you come back on top. I mean, I remember we were struggling probably more than 10 years ago. I wasn't working really. I was taking care of Honey. We both were struggling financially, and just to see you just rise through corporate America, and you know, I'm just like, dang, we've done well. We all have done really well. Tan, for you, you are reliable and dependable, but I think you are that person for a lot of people. And I think that just speaks about your character, about like, baby, you're going to show up. You are going to show up. And a lot of people, you are like that person, like you're that person for us. And so you never waver on that. And so that is one of the things that I appreciate and love about you, because baby, Tan and Tamika, they gonna be there. I'm gonna call y'all before I call anybody else. Okay.
Loyalty.
Right.
Learn it.
Right.
It's important. Yeah.
So let's talk about the future. What is your greatest hope for each other? I'm gonna go first. Tan, I want you to rest. Okay.
I second that.
I want you to rest, girl. I want you to know what rest feels like in your spirit, to not have the worries that you had, and to get 8 hours of sleep. Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
But I want you to rest. You were turning this year.
Hold on, cut. Mind your business. No, cut. No, ma'am.
Yes.
Redo. Roll it back.
Yes.
Where my girl at? Roll it back.
Wait a minute, we talking
No,
about
no. But and you can. She said her age, and you said yours. I didn't co-sign on that. I'm gonna need roll that back.
I am the younger cousin.
embracing, girl. Embracing.
You let me tell my age. I don't need you speaking it for me.
So Tan, I have a birthday. I'm going to be 49, and you're my older cousin. So, wait. I'm not telling your age.
This is. This is.
I didn't tell your age. I didn't tell your age. I said I'm 49.
Ooh, hold on.
That's that Aries coming out of
It is. Just don't be 2% milk.
Okay. Okay.
Don't be 2% milk. Okay.
So I want to find out, what is your biggest hope for each other? But before you answer, I want to go first. Tan, for you, girl, I want you to get some rest.
I second that.
I want you to get some good 8 hours sleep every night. I want you to be on a beach for your birthday. I want you to go to Europe, do 7-10 days in Europe, and just rest. Go to the spa. I don't want you to think about anyone's problems. I don't need nobody to die while you're on vacation.
I need nobody to die in 2026.
I need all deaths to pause, okay?
Thank you.
And for you to just rest and relax. That's what I want for you, because you deserve it. Because I feel like you're always constantly juggling. And like I said, having to show up. And while I'm thankful that you show up, girl, I want you to rest. Because sometimes it make me tired.
It can't make you tired. You rested.
Right. And Tamika, for you, I want you to find someone who loves you the way that you deserve to be loved. I want you to find someone who loves vacation the way that you like to vacation. Okay. And because you're an amazing person and you deserve that. So that is what I hope for you.
Thank you. I second that one too.
Won't he do it?
Won't he will. Won't he will.
All right. So what about you?
For you, Rhadia, I want your show, your vision, your dream to flourish. And I want the world to be able to see you in the way that we get to see you all the time, because your personality is bigger than life, and the world deserves to see that and experience that. And for 10, I want you to have the soft life, girl. Soft life.
Hashtag soft life.
Soft
Yes.
life. I do. You're going to work, and I know you're going to work no matter what. But I want you to be able to do all the things you want to do. None of the things you have to do, So I want you, I guess that is in line with resting, but I just want you to be full of joy and peace and just move through life without having to feel like you have to take care of everybody, but having somebody in your life that's going to take care of you.
Oh, I thought that was my lottery pitch, but it had sounded to me like it was the lottery.
That might be your soft life, girl.
I mean, hey,
buy the ticket.
Come on.
Let's go play Powerball when we done, okay?
I mean, with the three of us together, we look good. This might be the day.
Right. Okay, and Tan.
Okay, and so for me, I think it's just for both of you, and I'll start with you, Rhadia, is just to remember God's promises. Rhadia is a dreamer. You've always been a dreamer, and much of your early years and the dreams that you were forming then, you put others before those dreams. And I just want you to remember God's promise in that the desires of your heart, He will bring to fruition. He has a plan for you. I think I see even in 2026, as you've deemed it delusional, your delusional 2026. I think that is it was a marker for me that God is bringing you into the season, that it's your time. The preparation is met with the opportunity, and we're going to get to see you flourish in a way. So just remember, even in those times when when you're questioning things and when you're wondering if you're walking the right path, trust and know that God has you where you are at the right time. All you have to do is do your part, and He does the rest. And the rest of that is not the heavy lift. You've done the work, and now you're going to get to see that come to fruition. Mm-hmm. And for you, the same. God's promise on your life. He's spoken things to you over the years about what He's going to bring to you. Mm-hmm. So even with everything that you deal with, you haven't completed what He has shared that He's going to give you. You haven't completed the assignment. Mm-hmm. And you know what the assignment is. And just remember that He's going to give you beauty for the ashes.
Yeah.
And for the record, I do know how to rest. Y'all just don't believe it's rest if it's not at a villa.
That's the only way it counts.
I mean, maybe.
Girl, I don't want any other rest other than a villa on vacation. Okay. So final question, 20 years from now, where are we going to be? To me, I remind you, do you remember we were in the airport and it was 3 ladies? I think 2 of them was in a wheelchair. You said that's going to be us in the future.
Girl, that was before the stroke and all kind of stuff. In 20 years, I just want to be alive, or I want to have died rich. So I'll take either one.
Did you say die rich?
Yes, that means I had some point in my life, I had reached the point of wealth that I wanted, and I died happy.
Okay. All right. So 20 years, you want to be alive and wealthy and then spend your money on really good vacations that you take us on.
Girl, look. Death is trying to get me, trying to grab hold of me a couple of times. So I'm just saying, I want to take what I got left
Okay.
and make the best of it. That's all I'm saying. I just want to make the best of what I got left.
Okay, Tam, what about you, girl?
On a beach, sipping. Doing the same thing we do now, laughing, sharing stories about the kids. Can they all be rich and front our vacation?
Absolutely.
They are trying to.
All we need is one of our kids to get rich so that we can retire.
No, I need all of them. They owe me.
Whether
They owe all of us, but I'm collecting on a couple of things. Some clubs.
I know our kids are watching. You owe us, okay? Because we have gone through it raising these kids. We have spent dollars that we did not have. I want to retire and retire your mama.
And we have the same expensive taste that they have. Okay.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, Tamika, thank you for being just the person that you are and for always having my back, have my front, have my side, all of that.
Got you, girl.
Tan, you're a wonderful person. You all aren't even like friends. You guys are family, sisters.
Yes.
Hell, I got a lot of sisters.
You do have a lot of
We both have a lot of sisters.
Y'all do. I don't have none, thank God.
That's a whole other show.
God gave you 2 sisters, but you all have been there, through thick and thin. And thank you. And I love you all.
Love you too.
I love y'all too. And Lord, give us all baby skin.
Give me mine back because it's gone. I need a second dose of baby skin.
Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time.